There was once a young woman named Lila who loved the sun. Every morning, she opened her window to let the first light fill her room. She said it made her feel alive, as if the day itself was welcoming her. But what Lila didn't notice was that wherever there was light, there was also a shadow. And no matter how fast she walked, it followed her quietly, step by step. At first, she thought shadows were just tricks of the sun, something harmless, something that disappeared at night. But one day, after a long week of feeling tired and misunderstood, she noticed something strange. Her shadow seemed to grow darker whenever she felt angry, anxious, or jealous. It stretched longer when she pretended to be fine, even when she wasn't. It started on a Monday. She was late for work. The bus splashed mud on her dress, and her coffee spilled. She forced a smile when her coworker asked if she was okay. "I'm fine," she said, but her shadow didn't believe her. It darkened and clung closer to her feet. On Wednesday, she argued with her best friend. She said words she didn't mean just to win the argument. Later that night, she saw her shadow on the wall. It looked heavier, like it was carrying the words she threw carelessly into the air. By Friday, she could almost feel its weight. Every time she walked past a mirror, she saw a tired version of herself. Someone who smiled for the world but didn't smile for real. And then, one evening, as the sun set, she turned around and whispered, "Why won't you leave me alone?" To her surprise, the shadow spoke back, not with a voice, but with silence that felt alive. It didn't want to harm her. It only wanted to be seen. That night, Lila couldn't sleep. She sat by the window, thinking. She realized her shadow wasn't her enemy. It was part of her, the part that carried everything she tried to hide. Her sadness, guilt, fear, and even the pieces of her past she refused to look at. So the next morning, she decided to stop running from it. She took a walk through the park, sat under a tree, and whispered softly, "I see you." For the first time, her shadow didn't look so dark. It looked real, whole. Over the next few weeks, she began to understand her shadow better. When she felt jealous, she didn't pretend not to. She asked herself, "What am I missing inside?" When she felt angry, she didn't push it down. She took a deep breath and listened to what that anger was trying to tell her. She started noticing the same thing in others. The grumpy cashier who sighed too loudly, the driver who honked too much, even her boss who acted tough all the time. They all had shadows too, hidden fears, unspoken pain, and stories untold. One afternoon, she saw a child crying in the park because his balloon had flown away. The boy's mother looked frustrated, trying to calm him. Lila knelt beside the boy and said, "It's okay to be sad. I'd be sad too if I lost something I loved." The boy stopped crying for a moment and nodded. The mother smiled softly, and in that moment, Lila realized something profound. By seeing her own shadow, she could now understand the shadows of others. As time passed, her life didn't suddenly become perfect. She still had bad days, she still got angry, but now, she didn't feel lost in her emotions. She noticed them, learned from them, and let them go. One evening, she stood by her window again, watching the sunset paint the world in gold and amber. Her shadow stretched long across the floor, calm and still. She smiled at it. "Thank you," she whispered, "for walking with me all this time." The shadow didn't move, but she felt its quiet presence, peaceful and whole. It was no longer a dark reflection to hide from. It was her silent teacher, showing her where light and truth met inside her heart. And from that day on, she learned something powerful. We all cast shadows, not because we are bad, but because we are human. The parts of us we try to ignore, our mistakes, our fears, our insecurities, are not there to punish us. They are there to help us grow. Your shadow is not your enemy. It's the part of you that carries your unhealed pain and your hidden strength. The more you face it with kindness, the lighter it becomes. When you learn to see your own shadow without fear, you also learn to see others with compassion. Every time you feel irritated, jealous, or hurt, take a pause. Ask yourself, what is my shadow showing me right now? Sometimes it's asking for forgiveness, sometimes for patience, sometimes just for understanding. But every time you listen, you become a little more free. If this story touched you, remember, your light and your shadow belong together. Accepting both is what makes you whole. Keep learning, keep healing, and keep shining your truth into the world. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more MoraLife tales that remind you to see not just the world, but the light within yourself.